Okay, so what I'm going to talk about is the two lesion, which is, in the behind the meniscocapsular junction of the medial meniscus, which is the ramp lesion, and the recently recognized JIP lesion, which is the meniscocapsular junction tear of the lateral meniscus. So these lesions are called as a hidden lesion because of the various reasons. The most important of them are its anatomical location in a blind spot. Fine? Yeah, thank you. So anatomical location in a very blind spot, which is not visualized very easily from the anterior approach. Low sensitivity of the MRI. Need for a specialized maneuver so that you have to go to the posteromedial or the posterolateral compartment to visualize this, and very subtle imaging features. Because of all these reasons, these are called as a hidden lesion. So this is the ramp lesion, which is very much represented by the ramp of a skating board. When we talk about ramp lesion, we have to understand the three important anatomical structures. These are the posterior horn of the middle meniscus, meniscocapsular ligament, which goes from the superior surface of the posterior horn of the meniscus, and the meniscotibial ligament. And based upon all these structures' involvement, then Thonse has given the classification into various types based upon the involvement of the various structures. I'll not go into detail of this. This is one of our own study, which is published in 2 years ago. When we retrospectively analyze our 412 case, we found little lesser incidence of ramp tear, around 12.8%. But what is important is out of these 53 cases, only 8 were reported in the MRI. So 75-85% of these ramp lesions in our context are not reported in the MRI. That is why it is important to understand that the diagnostic arthroscopy is the gold standard at this moment, especially in our context. So there are two approaches to identify both this ramp lesion and the JIP lesion. These are the intercondylar approach, which is known as the Gilchrist maneuver. So you pass your scope from anterior to the posterior, and the posteromedial or posterolateral approach for the JIP lesion. So there are pros and cons for both of these. So this is the intercondylar approach. This is how I do. I flex the knee to 30 degree and let it be on the side of the table. And from this gap, you just go into the posterior compartment, you'll see a big ramp lesion. This is not at all hidden lesion. This is a very big ramp lesion. But what is important to know, to understand, that we have to go into the posteromedial compartment so that we visualize this type of tear. In some cases, when it is very difficult to go, I use a modified Gilchrist maneuver using the the Wissinger rod, and I go from the anteromedial portal. So see, the rod is in the posteromedial compartment, and you railroad your sheath of the scope through this Wissinger rod into the posteromedial compartment. Then you take out the rod and pass your scope through the sheath. You land into the posteromedial compartment. So this maneuver can be useful when there is a tight joint or when there is a difficult to go into the posteromedial compartment. Another maneuver, if you are in the posteromedial compartment, this is the internal rotation maneuver. You know that your posterior capsule has gone down, so you do an internal rotation so that your posterior capsule comes up, and then you can visualize a ramp tear very easily. So putting your scope into the posteromedial compartment and internal rotation maneuver will reveal the ramp lesion very easily. And this is what described by Sonri Cote using a needle into the posteromedial compartment for the palpation. You can use a needle. Sonri Cote actually described using a probe, but you can also use a needle. So which the posterior ramp lesion was not visible initially will be very much well revealed. Coming to the JIP lesion, so this is very recently published by my very good friend Dr. Sheetal Gupta. So both this ramp lesion and the JIP lesion, what I understand is the modification of the longitudinal tear of the posterior horn of the meniscus, probably. So this is the classification. I'll not go into, but the principle remains the same. You go into the posterolateral compartment, look at the posterolateral compartment, use your needle to identify this tear, which is very, very essential. So earlier we used to say that we have to see the posteromedial compartment for ramp. Now we have to go into the posterolateral compartment as well, so that you reveal these hidden lesion, which should not be missed. So this is a very essential one. While examining the lateral meniscus, put the leg into the figure of 4 position so that your posterior horn and even the posterior capsule becomes visible, so that these kind of, longitudinal tear of the meniscus, which is classified as the, JIP lesion, are not missed. So why these lesions are important? If not carefully looked at, it can very easily be missed. If it is missed and left untreated, it can alter the biomechanics of the knee, and this may become the cause of reconstruction failure. So ACL, one of the commonest cause of ACL failure nowadays, is recognized as missed ramp or missed JIP lesion. So how I deal with ramp and JIP lesion, in nutshell, I considered all ACL has ramp and JIP tear if they have a high grade of Lachman test, explosive pivot shift, and the chronic ACL tear. I always do the modified Gilchrist maneuver to see the posteromedial and the posterolateral compartment. My diagnostic arthroscopy round is not complete until unless I record what is there in the posteromedial compartment and what is there in the posterolateral compartment. And I do repair most of my ramp and JIP lesion irrespective of either I consider that as a stable or it is an unstable. So to conclude, a high degree of suspicion of the ramp and JIP lesion is very, very essential to detect them. Inspection of the posteromedial and the posterolateral compartment is mandatory. So this must be included in your diagnostic roundup. Probing of the area either by needle or by using arthroscopic probe will reveal some of the hidden lesion. Do not forget that some of these ramp and the JIP lesion are under surface or the meniscocapsular tear. So it is not only the superior surface you have to see the under surface of the meniscus. And my approach to these are find and fix them irrespective of their size. Thank you very much. Thank you.